Welcome to Amateur Redneck Workshop. I'm Harold, and this is the part of the project where we figure out if I recovered from a stupid mistake in part 1 or A, whatever, of the video. So let's just don't talk about it. Let's just go on and see if it works out. We got to get something done before the Good of the Land Fest comes up this weekend, even if it's just kicking the tripod. Okay, so I gave up and put the rotary table on there like I should have, and got it into that spot to turn the arc, and I'm back to the arc business again. I've got a 3/8 carbide end mill in there, and it's cutting really nice. I think it said Whittier on the package, so I guess they must be good end mills. And this time I'm pretty sure it's going to work out just fine. I'm almost through the thing now. Alright, we've been cutting about a 40,000 step, and that seems to be just about right for it, not too much stress or strain. And of course I've got that little end mill cruising along around more than 1200 RPM, I think maybe 1500. Alright, so I set it up over again so that I could have access to the outer arc of the thing. And of course I had to make longer bolts or longer studs to hold the thing down. And it all worked out. And of course while I was doing that, I got to thinking, here I am repositioning things so I can move it in the wide direction when I want to get out from the center hole. And it would have been smarter and easier to set it up in the X direction, because you got a whole lot more movement there. I got 27 inches or so movement in the X direction and only about 9 inches in the Y direction. So it's all in how you look at things. I guess you should not do like me, but go and try and figure things out before you know, some other way. But there we are. I've got most of the outer part of the arc done there. Now I have to cut it out that last little bit. So I'll have to do another little setup where I can clamp down here. Not sure just exactly how I'm going to do it, but it likes just the tiniest bit cut through right there, and I'd really like to do that. So I'll put you guys to sleep while I figure that out, and I'll wake you up again later. Okay, here's another part of the hinge. Well, it's not finished because I haven't got the 1/2-inch hole there, but this is the part that's going to be welded down for the thing to swing through when the bolt comes around. And I made this spot nice and big, and I will make a nice big washer to go over it so that, you know, it's still great. And the angle came out pretty good, I think. It's relatively smooth, and at least as good as I could have done on a grinder or a bandsaw. I'll round off this, and I'll round off this stuff up here so it looks better. But I made 2 little bars like this to work with the hold downs on here. And I like this a lot. I think it's a good idea, and I can always make more holds as I need them for other projects. So this has now become a fixture in the shop instead of just some stock laying around on the floor. In fact, I think this was some of the stuff I bought for this project, but I cut it off. Yeah, it was. I see down on the floor the piece I cut it off of. Okay, so there's my part on top of the drawing. And of course I missed this angle here a little bit, and instead of having a square end on it, it comes to a short point. This guy is wider than the plans call for, because I wanted to give myself every chance to mess up and have the wrong, you know, arc or something, and I wanted it to still fit, so I didn't have to go back and worry with it. Because this time I figure out whether it fits good or not, this thing will probably be welded down, you know. and it'll be a little late then. So next I've got to do the other part down at the bottom. This is the next piece. It should be a great deal easier to get right. At least I hope it will be. We'll see. Got to draw him off and find out. So continuing on with the progress on the hinges. We need a 1/2 inch hole. That's a hole. What can I say? Alright, so all I got to do now is round the corners, and that part of the hinge will be finished. Well, other than rounding off these corners here, that's the second hinge piece made there. This piece goes with this piece, and I think this is pretty good progress for a red deck. I had to stop and go out and wrap pipes because it's supposed to be freezing by morning. That's something I don't really like, but it happens in Houston sometimes. Okay, so now the two pieces in step 5 are finished. They're rounded off. I'm not rounding them as much, I think, as Jeremy probably did, but then I'm a lot lazier than Jeremy. When I was a young guy in my 20s and 30s, I'd have probably got this thing knocked out in a week because I'd have got on it with a feverish pitch of activity. All that fever's gone now. Alright, here's some stuff left over from step 4. I didn't tap the hole there that they show, and I didn't weld feet onto that thing. So I guess start off by making the tapped hole and look around here and see what I've got to make the feet out of, and we'll continue on from there. I believe these are what you'd call the base pieces for the thing. Each one of them gets a 5/16 hole, threaded hole. So that's what we're up to here. I'm going to cut that. Now, children, do we remember what Pierre said? He said, chamfer before threading. Chamfer before threading. Seemed like a good thing to do. There we are. Chamfered. Let's just go ahead and start it with this guy, and then we'll take over with the hand-operated job. I think it'll work. There we go. Now we'll thread it by hand, and everything will be just too lovely. And these are for the feet, for the base. I already got a pilot holding both ends here. So next step, drill it bigger. We're going to put a 1/2 inch hole in each of these. I'm not exactly following Jeremy's directions here I'm putting the half-inch hole half an inch from the end. He put them an inch from the end. I'm probably being stingier with the metal. Alright, then we move on to the half-inch hole, and we'll be okay. Time to chamfer this stuff. So there's the feet, front and back. I'm not going to do any welding yet. I've got to weld these pieces on it. Be welded on there like that. Let me move it where it's more in the camera. That'll be welded on there. That'll be welded on there. But there's an awful lot of welding that comes along in this thing, so I'm going to cut out parts and cut out parts till I think I've got most of the stuff cut out, and then I'll do the welding. After all, my MIG welding comes with the advice that it can cause cancer in California. So we will just get it over with at one time so we don't spread as much cancer as, any more than we need to. Okay, so that's probably what we're going to do there until tomorrow. This will be the end of this video, and we'll take off for the Good of the Land Fest. We're actually going to go up there on Friday and spend the night, and then wander around at the Good of the Land Fest Saturday. See what there is to see. So the next video will probably be mostly video of the Good of the Land Fest. You'll get to see A-Bomb and Keith Rucker and Dale Derry and Jim Bollinger and the bash guy from California that I can never remember his name. Zankowski, something like that. Anyway, that's probably what the next video is going to be about. Let's go and see if we got anything from Bubba or Boudreaux or Ole. Bubba's got this girl cousin named Bobby Sue. I bet you thought I was going to say her name was Bubba. Anyway, she's a cute little old blonde gal, And one day she went down to the doctor's office and went in and told the receptionist, she said, "I just hurt all over my body." So receptionist showed her into the doctor. The doctor come in, he says, "What's the matter here?" She says, "Well, I just hurt all over my body." He says, "Well, show me where you hurt." She said, "Well, I hurt here, and I hurt here, and I hurt here, and so on." So the doctor examined her a couple of minutes, and he says, "Tell me this, how'd you break your finger?" Well, that's all, folks. Y'all try to subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Leave a comment if you got something to say. And above all, remember, keep on keeping on. Bye now.